Okay, so it's 2:15 in the afternoon, and obviously, we're not doing a homeless thing. What did I eat today? 3 apples. Well, not to my knowledge. Who knows what tricks God has in store for me. Um, where I am in my life right now. I took off those sandals that I had that I was using as walking shoes because they are excruciatingly painful. Even though they're flats and they appear that they wouldn't be, they're plastic jellies with rims around the edges, and my feet are too wide for basically any shoe. I wear a 7.5 triple E wide, and so my feet are like right over the edge of them, so that big ridge that's there to keep the narrow feet in are just cutting into my wide feet. So I have one, maybe I can make it in this neighborhood. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of times little things encourage you. Like just the fact I've been here, like I said, a year and a half, and there's a couple of people in the hood, black people mainly, two, like real down to earth, that always, they speak and they make me feel welcome, which is good. And I think I need that. I just need to be seen. Even though I may not be as responsive as I guess a regular person would be, I need that. I need that interaction. Speaking of crazy people, like I remember being in the shelter one time, and there was this woman, and she was just, ooh, look at this helicopter just hovering over me. Y'all can't see that, of course, but it's a helicopter like close, and it's just staying in one spot in the air, just hovering over me. It's scary. But anyhow, the lady was just steady talking to herself. And one of the girls that was in the shelter with me, she just looked at her, and then she said, what she did was just jumped in the conversation. And when she jumped in the conversation that the woman was having with herself, it's like the woman started talking to her. It was like seamless, like she was in the conversation the whole time, and she just kind of just, like, okay, let me pretend I'm gonna play the role. So here's one talking to herself. So everybody in the shelter was looking at the woman. Then the girl, and some of them was starting to joke, like Lord, whatever that black people do. Then the one girl from New York, she was just looking at her, and then she was like, "You doing okay, Jocelyn?" I don't know what the lady's name is. "You doing okay, Jocelyn?" And the lady just came out of her thing. She was, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine, baby." And then she went back on to, and then she said, then the girl was just like, "What you laughing at? That sound mighty pretty funny. You want to share?" And then she was just like, "Oh, it's just something that happened." So it's just like when people get into those situations like that, and that's what I'm scared of. I don't want to be that. And I vlog a lot, and the vlogging thing, I understand that it's vlogging, but also it's a release for me. And what scares me about that is a lot of times it's not just what you're doing, but other people's perception of what you're doing. Like if I'm constantly walking down the street and I don't have my earpiece on or nothing, and I have this phone in front of me and I'm talking to it, and people see me by myself altogether, so they probably think, well, she's not Skyping with a friend because I don't never see her with no friends. You know what I'm saying? And I think it might come off, because I've gotten so used to doing it that I'm very comfortable doing it. It doesn't even bother me. And, I don't want to be that woman, So the first thing is realization of how things may come off. So I don't want it to come off that way. So, like I said, I changed and put on the comfortable shoes. They're really comfortable. I should be wearing these all the time anyhow. So I know I'm making the right decision of having the 3 pairs. The sandals for easy slide on, slide off, and shower. They're plastic. The dress shoes for interviews, and the tennis shoes for walking and that type of thing. I found a whole bunch of stuff. I got so much stuff in that place. It's just really unbelievable. Like I find stuff that I forgot I had. It's like just finding new things. And this same helicopter has been hovering forever, but it's slowly like moving north. So like I said, it's just flip-flopping back and forth, because now, what I'm thinking is like, at first I was just like, oh yeah, I could be homeless. I don't have no problem with that. I've done it before, but it's a difference, because when you did it before, you had no choice. You were court ordered. You were court ordered to a homeless shelter. So whatever, and that time, not only were you court ordered to the homeless shelter, you knew that you were not wrong. That you knew you were doing the right thing. You were morally just, and on top of that, you thought that you had a family and support to think about. Now, the thing is different. You're not court ordered to a homeless shelter. So the fact that you would put yourself in that situation, it just doesn't make sense, so I don't need to do that, and I didn't realize it until, like I said, I was walking. I walked like, maybe a mile, and it's just like I'm tired. I had this little purse, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so heavy, and it's just, you can't pull yourself, it's hard to pull yourself back up from that. I'm trying to pull myself back up. Why would I throw myself back into the depths of that? It's a lot of mental abuse that happens there. You have people talking to you any kind of way, physical abuse. You're just kind of thrown to the wind. Why would I treat myself like that? Maybe I don't have people that love and that care about me, and maybe maybe my landlord is not my best friend and doesn't love me or anything like that, but I have a roof over my head. I have a storing place for all of my stuff, and I could at least put on the appearance of having myself together, enough to go look for a job. At least I have that much. At least I can communicate with him to the point where if I need to get an extension, I feel comfortable asking. But why shouldn't I? Hey, how you doing? Because it's a no offense to nobody in particular, but it just is what it is. It's a piece of crap place, So what I need to do is just find any penny, any job, work as hard as I can. And when I say hard, the work isn't hard, but the part that's hard is, do as much as I can to keep the job, make people like me or whatever. Don't make it all about the work, make them like me and shit. And realize that I need this money because I need to get the hell out of that hellhole, and I don't want to be wandering the street smelling like a rat's ass. Literally. I don't want to be running, wandering the street smelling like ass, dragging a whole bunch of bags in 100-degree weather with men trying to pick me up, because instead of caring about your situation, they're looking at you as vulnerable and treating you like a piece of shit, So I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm begging somebody to institutionalize me. A shelter is an institution, but I'm begging someone to institutionalize me so that everybody else there can abuse me or not give me privacy. But the part, and I'm saying this now because it's daylight, but at night when I hear the rats going again, I might think differently. That's because that's how serious it is, like how bad it is. But I know that if I'm able-bodied, I'm healthy, that even if I don't like the situation, or the situation is piss poor, I don't have to be there. I can try my best to find 2 or 3 jobs. But the thing is, I like instant gratification. So it's like, if I'm looking now, I want the job now, So, especially when I'm in a situation I don't like, I want everything now. Now, if it was different and I was in a decent situation, I would take my time. But it's like, I really don't like this place. So, it's a little bit different. Yeah, so, this helicopter is really tripping me out. Anyways, got on my tennis shoes. I'm comfortable. Ooh, it feels so good. I probably should have put some socks on. That would have been nice. Because no telling, like I said, my place is so infested with life other than human that no telling what's in my shoes that I don't know about. I shook them, but I don't mean nothing. It's probably just because they got in crevices and stuff. Because I do feel like something bit my foot, but it might be my imagination. But anyhow, so I found this other place because I made a decision when I got back. I was just like, I really don't want to be homeless. I don't know if I can make it this time around. And being that I don't have no excuse, no court ordered me to be homeless this time. I'm not suffering the repercussions of that. And, I would probably have to beg my way to get in. That's not what I want, And if you are not court ordered and you're just offering yourself up to a homeless shelter, then really, really people are going to think something's wrong with you. Okay? So, or even if they don't really think that, they get those shelters and places get extra money if something is wrong with you. So they're going to try to find something wrong with you. Like, I remember they would continuously ask me. I kept telling them I was court ordered, but then they kept continuously asking me, do I do drugs? Don't lie, you do drugs. And I was like, no, I don't, because they get extra money. So if you say that and I don't do any of this, I don't smoke or drink anything at all except water and juice. But if you say, I guess you smoke. So what I did, because I thought I wouldn't get in if I said that I didn't, I was like, yeah, weed, but I don't smoke weed. And then if you say that, if they ask you, have you ever drank? And you say, yeah, you drank before, they would put you down as an alcoholic. And you might have had one drink with friends. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 years ago. Now, so I just wanted you to be aware of this. Because, and if you go to a homeless shelter and you don't have any ailments and no bullshit, and a lot of people, they lie about the reasons they go in there. I remember people kept telling me, different things to say, but I was like, no, that's not true, But they were like, whatever it takes to get what you need to get. And then there were some people that, they were saying they stopped that now, but in the past, if you smoke weed, they would have it listed as a mental illness if you smoke weed, but they stopped doing that because people were actually collecting disability because they smoke weed, So, that's the whole thing about the whole institutionalization in systems. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, watching last night, I watched this thing where they were talking about how, they were gathering up the homeless people, putting them in FEMA shelters, which basically is the same as homeless shelters. The guy sounded surprised because he was saying that, how once you go into the shelters, you can't get out unless there's somebody on the outside that's willing to vouch for you or sign that they're willing to accept you and take you in. Okay, so you become a ward of the state, like an orphan almost. Your liberties are taken from you, is what he was saying. I don't know if it's true or not, because I didn't do any research. But that's no different than the shelters now. If you go in, you're not allowed to leave for like 3 months, sometimes 6 months. They act like it's big news, but it's not. And I really, would like to post that to him so that he would know that. That would be interesting. And then also that lady that I was talking about earlier, Sherry Peel Jackson. I wonder, because the videos I saw, she seemed so sweet and innocent. Like, I wondered, was that it? Because what I got from it was that she was doing all this speaking out about the federal government and how you could basically paying your taxes is a crime. You shouldn't have to pay your taxes, blah, blah, blah. And I guess because she was talking to her community and things, and people were actually listening and paying attention and coming out to hear her speak, they had brought like a SWAT team to raid her house. Like literally raid her house. They took some boxes, and it was an intimidation tactic, to make her shut up, and she didn't really shut up as much as they would like. So they got her accused of something, tax fraud or something, and she got like 3 years or something in jail. and they found a jury that would convict her, and people were scared. And it's true, because I've been in the system, I know how it is. I haven't been at the level she's been in, and I don't know if it's going to change by the time that I get there.